off by saying this. All the things I'm going to say in this video are obviously opinionated. I just would like to put my opinion out there, is really where this video is coming from. That being said, let's get right into it. So, the first thing I really want to talk about is apparently what just happened there, I guess. Um, I have no idea what just happened on as to why I could not connect to their servers. But this game has been out for I think a month or two now, and as far as I know, I've actually kind of followed the game a little bit. I've followed it on like Facebook and other forms of social media, and it's had a lot of server issues, which is really really weird. I guess maybe because it was made by a small development studio. Alright. You know what? If it's just gonna mess up, then you know what? We will simply... You know what? We'll just play through the game, normally. Let me customize even a character for a second. I don't really have the funds to buy anything else. I'll go ahead and ready up. Anyway. So back to what I was saying. This game has had a lot of server issues. It's had a lot of maintenance issues, and from my standpoint, when it comes to playing and owning the game, seeing a game have multiple server issues really disheartens me and discourages me to play the game, because it makes me want to just basically, if all I'm seeing is the game, suffer and do bad or have issue after issue, I don't want to experience those issues. I don't feel like going through that. I don't feel like dealing with, a broken game. Now, I'm not saying this game is broken or unplayable, and it is a somewhat decent game, but this leads me into the next point I want to talk about. Although it's a decent game, this game is a really bad carbon copy of Left 4 Dead.
Not going into the subway. You've heard the stories.
We will starve here. The subway is our only chance. We take it to Inwood, get to the evac center, and get the fuck out of New York. Or we die here.
I don't like him, but he's right.
Alright then. Anyway, I'm sorry the characters interrupted me. This game is blatantly a ripoff and basically a carbon copy of Left 4 Dead. Now, I'm not saying that that's exactly a bad thing. The Left 4 Dead video game series was an incredibly successful franchise, and it was incredibly well done. So, I'm not going to sit here and say that, hey, if you're going to take some cues from Left 4 Dead, that's a bad idea. It's really not. I think it's a smart move to take, your cues from a very successful video game.
We're going for it. Trying the subway to Inwood. Over.
Yeah, really? I don't... maybe this runs so I'm not on a front.
Really hate when the characters in video games interrupt me. What? Anyway, I don't have any problem with, a zombie game taking cues from Left 4 Dead or even another zombie game. I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea. If you know that, hey, this game was a successful game, then maybe you should borrow some ideas from it. After all, what's the harm? But, you see, I don't think that's what games do. See, Left 4 Dead is one of the most successful zombie video games ever. it's still, from what I understand, on platforms like PC and all that, played fairly often because there's a fairly active community uh, that create new and interesting maps. I've seen a ton of really crazy maps be played by some of my favorite YouTubers, and the maps I've seen are honestly just really impressive, and they look like they're really fun to play. Now, like I said, I've got no issue with a game being like, hey, we're gonna take some of these ideas and adapt them into our game. That's a great idea, really it is. But when it comes to this game, it doesn't feel like they wanted to just borrow some ideas. It feels like they wanted to create the next Left 4 Dead, but it just did not work in the slightest. I'm not saying that World War Z is a failure of a game. I do recommend it, and I do think that it's a fun game. But it definitely plays and feels like a worse Left 4 Dead. Now, I'll say this. I really do enjoy the fact that there are just a bunch of zombies to kill. Tons of zombie games have done that. And, you know, that has nothing to do with Left 4 Dead or really any zombie franchise. Every zombie franchise or anybody who's making a zombie game knows the more zombies you can kill, the funner the game's going to be. Who doesn't want to kill hordes of zombies? It's one of the funnest things you can possibly do. So, I will give this game credit for that. I think that it's incredibly fun to go through this game just absolutely slaughtering zombies. And I even think that the hordes that you have to fight are really fun as well. But one thing that bothers me is this game doesn't really have a difficulty meter. It just is what it is. There's no, you know, like, oh, hey, you know, let's say I start using an unsilenced gun too much. You know, if I don't know if you watch the World War Z movies, but in the movies, you know, you start making too much noise, 100 million bajillion zombies would come out of nowhere and just, you know, decimate you. Now, I understand that they can't have just literally an infinite supply of zombies come running at your character. Otherwise, that would create a massive problem in the sense of, hey, the game would literally be unbeatable. So, it's understandable. You know, I've got no issue.
Wrong floor, assholes.
Or no, actually, I guess I have a look. I don't know. It's hard to explain my issue with the hordes in this game. While they're really, really fun to mess around with, and I think that, you know, anyone who plays this game, that's probably going to be your favorite aspect.
Gotta go now. You coming? Over.
I also genuinely believe that this game should have followed the books, either the book or the movie. It doesn't really follow either or. It kind of follows the book in, if you've ever played, or not played, read the book. The book World War Z is essentially just, it's kind of like a report where we're this fictional reporter whose name is never really given, but he goes around talking to the survivors of the zombie apocalypse, and he basically asks them, you know, how did you survive? What helped you survive? You know, what did you do to survive? Blah, blah, blah. Basic questions like that. So, this game follows the book in the sense of, you do play as different survivors, and from their point of view, you do see what they, you know, did to survive and things like that. So it is faithful to the book in that format. But that's the only way in which it's faithful. Obviously, I'm not playing as a reporter, and I'm not running around just asking people, so what'd you do during the zombie apocalypse? Like it was just some kind of spring break, and I was just like, so how was your spring break? No. We actually get to experience the zombie apocalypse firsthand. Which I think is, again, zombie games are always a win in my book.
Stay quiet.
But like I said, I know a lot of people are either going to disagree with me on this, or they're going to be, you know, they're going to agree with me. And in the comments below, I want to know your actual opinion. What do you think about this game if you've played it or seen a let's play of it? Do you think I'm right? To be honest with you, I genuinely do believe that this game is, how do I put this? It's not completely Left 4 Dead, but even the developers themselves, I believe, in one of the things I saw while reading some of the things they posted on Facebook and other websites, they said that they wanted this to be the next Left 4 Dead. You know, that's what this is. It's the next Left 4 Dead, you know? Oh, you know, it's supposed to be bigger and better than Left 4 Dead was ever supposed to be, and all that. And while I'm not saying exactly that this game is a bad game, again, I'm not going to sit here and give this game a bad rating. If you genuinely want to know my actual opinion, or what I'd rate this game, I would say this game rates about a 6 out of 10, maybe a high 5. It's had a lot of server issues, like I said, where you've just been unable to play online. And one of the things that makes this game so fun is the fact of you can play online with your friends. If the biggest aspect of this game is, you know, around online features and then your online never works, that's kind of an issue.
Welcome home.
But other than that, I'll say that this game is an incredibly fun game. Even if you're not playing with friends, you can just run around and kill zombies, and who doesn't love doing that? Oh. That actually leads me into the next thing I want to talk about. The Special Infected. See, like many other zombie games today, this game has Special Infected. Like this guy, who's basically a charger from Left 4 Dead, and this dude, who's basically the hunter. This is what makes this game feel like a really bad carbon copy of Left 4 Dead. I know this guy may not look like the charger from Left 4 Dead, you know, with the really crazy one big arm and then the small teeny arm that we all know and love and make fun of the charger for. And obviously this guy doesn't look like a hunter. It's still very evident that's what they're based off of.
Eyes open. We got a hider. Gotta be quiet here.
What she just talked about, the hider, is, although jockeys they're not essentially stealthy, that's basically what it is. It's a jockey almost. And to every developer out there who wants to make a zombie game, look, here's all I have to say is you don't have to base your game off of Left 4 Dead, nor does it have to feel like some Left 4 Dead ripoff.
Subway's across and left.
I'm not saying that Left 4 Dead was a bad game. It was an incredibly well done game, and it will always have a place in my heart, without a doubt. But to all these video game developers who keep making zombie game after zombie game after zombie game, and every time I see a review of the game, or I see someone, or even just simply have a friend of mine come and talk to me about the game, I see them talk about, hey, yeah, the game just feels like Left 4 Dead, which I'm not exactly sure is a good thing. Again, I'll say this. The Left 4 Dead series was amazing, but the only two companies I think we really should trust to make another Left 4 Dead game is either Valve, or, for those of you who don't actually know, the original Left 4 Dead, the first Left 4 Dead, number 1, the game that started it all, if you want to put it that way, was made by Valve and another video game studio working together. Now, that second studio, from what I've read, quit working with Valve about halfway through the game's development due to, it was either halfway or pretty close to the game being finished due to creative differences, which is fine. But because of that, the only two developers I really want to see make another Left 4 Dead game are either Valve or the people who helped work on the first one, who go their company name, which, for those of you who don't know, they are actually making a spiritualistic successor to Left 4 Dead. The company is known as Turtle Rock Studios. What a cool name. I guess they like turtles or they like rock and roll. Or maybe they just like geology? Who knows? See, is there another place I can put this? Yes, there is.
Oh shit! Get back!
Oh man. See, that's what I'm talking about. While the hordes are really cool, you never feel like you're in danger from a horde. You never have to fight a horde like two head on. And that's what I know, I'm sorry, I was making a point a second ago, but because this is happening, I figured I should bring this up real fast. Although fighting, these hordes are really fun, you're always in a position where you kind of have the drop on the zombies, not vice versa. And it leads to a kind of unrealistic... And not only does it lead to a really unrealistic feel in the game, it leads to just a situation where it's like, even if we did have the drop on all these zombies, there's only a couple thousand of them, and, only 4 of us. Anyway, I digress. Back to the original point I was making.
Raise it up.
I'll take what I can get.
I didn't know there was an assault shotgun. I thought that was an assault... Whatever. Where's this zombie at? He's here breathing. That's eerie and creepy. Whatever. Sorry. So...
Gotta move. Hit the button.
I'm going.
No turning back now.
Anyway. Sorry, back to what I was saying. I think that really those are the only two studios who understand the Left 4 Dead formula. What made Left 4 Dead so successful wasn't just the zombies, but it was the characters as well. Although I don't really like the Left 4 Dead 1 characters as much as I like the Left 4 Dead 2 characters, as who can hate Ellis and his stories about him and his buddy Keith, I still do enjoy playing as the Left 4 Dead 1 characters, and I still think they have a pretty good banter as well. And I'm sorry to say that these characters that you play as in this game, they don't have that kind of banter. I'm not saying that they're necessarily bad or anything, but they definitely don't have the same witty banter. They don't see the apocalypse in the same way as the survivors from Left 4 Dead 2 do. They're in Left 4 Dead, you're cracking jokes, not really taking it seriously. In this game, the survivors very evidently take the game seriously, and while I think that you should take it seriously in moments like this, I also think it's best to cut back, relax, and make some jokes and have fun.
Shit! That train!
Get back, you smelly bastard!
Sorry for the moments I go out without talking. It's because I'm kind of concentrating a little bit. Just due to the fact of, I don't feel like getting killed.
It's him.
Him? Oh, my reputation precedes me.
Can you drive this thing?
The ride ain't free, dear. This rabbit hole is chock-a-block with goodies. Bring them to me.
Find supply crates. Why would there be supply crates in a random subway? Whatever, dude. Anyway. I know I've been ripping on the game for a little bit and kind of going on and on. So, again, I think I should talk about some of the good things and some of the things I'm enjoying when it comes to this game. And I kind of have. First of all, like I said, it is really, 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 really fun to fight against just hordes upon hordes of zombies. I don't think I'll ever in my life, be like, you know what? I don't want to play a zombie game that has hordes of zombies to fight. It's always going to be fun, I think. And that's one thing they did right, is this game has a lot of zombies for you to fight. So if you love killing zombie after zombie, you will enjoy this game, guarantee it. Another thing I think this game gets right is, to me, it seems like they really did want to make this game dark and gritty. You know, they didn't want to go for the whole, oh, hey, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna go for, you know, a more humor-filled approach when it comes to the zombie apocalypse. No, it seems like they, you know, and in my opinion, successfully created the dark and nitty-gritty world of, hey, this world's gone to hell, the apocalypse has happened, and the survivors are pretty cynical, you know? They take the situation seriously, and they're like, you know, hey, we need to get out of here.
When are we gonna leave?
Find more.
Whack job. Spotted that screamer.
Now, I don't have too much more to say about this game. Like I said, they did a couple things right and did a couple things wrong. I mostly wanted to talk about, with this game, how... What I really want to talk about is how, not just this game, but a lot of games are starting to... The more and more I open my eyes, the more and more I look at things and realize, that's definitely from Left 4 Dead, you know? And I'm not saying that Left 4 Dead necessarily popularized the idea of special infected. To be honest, it may have been Resident Evil that started the idea, as, you know, Resident Evil has the notorious Tyrant. You know, the Tyrant is created from the same virus that creates the zombies.
Whack job.
So it's... Honestly, down in the comments, to anyone who watches this video, I would be incredibly grateful if you actually could find the answer. Which game really popularized special infected when it comes to zombies? Would it be Left 4 Dead in their, you know, spitters, boomers, tanks, witches, things like that? Or is it Resident Evil with the lickers, the Tyrant, the zombie dogs?
Oh, sorry, did I say stop?
Whack job.
I'm just curious. Anyhow. Oh, where is that thing at? Oh, it's over here.
Found a screamer. Shut up.
Now, the last few things I really have to say about this game, because I don't like to keep my videos too long, as I don't think everyone wants to watch a super long video. A couple of the last few things I just have to say really come down to this. As much of a fan as I am of zombie games,
Those
let me apply my
giants in
kit.
the Bronx must be shitting in their drawers by now.
I genuinely do believe that too many games are trying to be the next Left 4 Dead. And the reason I think that's a problem is a lot of first-person shooters, and I know that doesn't have anything to do... Well, technically a lot of zombie games are first-person shooters, so... A lot of first-person shooters try to be the next Call of Duty, or they want to be the next Halo. And they don't need to do that.
Creeper.
What you need to do, and this is what I hope video game developers one day come to understand, you need to create the next big idea that you like. You don't need to be the next big Halo, you don't need to be the next big, you know, Minecraft or Left 4 Dead or anything like that. You know, this is your life, your ideas. You shouldn't base it off of something else, you know. Go crazy, go wild. I want to see your ideas. Don't take someone else's. You know, that might be the easy way out, but
Better drive.
I think in my opinion, it's much more interesting to see your own original ideas than for you to say, hey, that game was successful, let's take our ideas from it and just throw in a couple of our own personal touches here and there. I want to see what you can create all on your own.
When are we gonna leave?
All aboard who's coming aboard!
Okay, whatever. Anyway, this has just been kind of a few things that I wanted to get off my chest. I'm not saying that the game is bad by any means. And I will say this to the World War Z developers. I really do enjoy the game you created for us. It's a very fun zombie game. If you do enjoy killing zombies, you're going to love this game. Really, you are. But there are a couple problems with it. And like I said, my biggest issue is I want to see what you guys can do. I want to see what you, the developer, can create without having to look at Left 4 Dead or this game or that game for influence. Show us, your ideas. Bring your idea to life. Hey, I unlocked something else cool. Cool. Anyway, I'm sorry if I've been talking your guys' ear off. There are just a couple videos that I'm really interested in starting a YouTube channel, and I think I am going to start doing Let's Plays. To anyone who's watched my videos so far, I don't really have the ability to edit them, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep live streaming them, and I'll make each video around 30 minutes-ish long. Once I hit the 30-minute mark, if I'm mid-mission or something, I'll go till I get to a checkpoint, and then next checkpoint or save point where the game auto-saves, I will end the video. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to talk about this game, and I kind of wanted to talk about the whole, hey, too many zombie games feel like they're just trying to be Left 4 Dead. That trend really needs to stop. I don't want to see, Left 4 Dead from you. I want to see it from Valve or Turtle Rock Studios, or whatever game it is Turtle Rock Studios is making. We don't really know yet. I'm sorry I didn't talk much about that. Since I didn't talk too much about it, I'll say this. For those of you who are interested in the Left 4 Dead series, Turtle Rock Studios is making a new zombie game called Back 4 Blood. It'll be 4-player co-op, and it's supposed to have a very Left 4 Dead feel, and it's supposed to deal, have a bunch of weapons and all that. Not much is known about it. You can look into it for yourself if you want. That's all I've really got to say on that. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I just wanted to get this off my chest. And in the comments below to anyone who watches this video, please tell me what you think about, am I right? Do you agree with me? Do you think that developers need to start branching out, and if they're going to create a zombie game, you need to create your own style, your own feel? Or do you like this formula where they take a lot of ideas from Left 4 Dead and they have the whole special infected and, things like that? I really do want to know your thoughts and opinion. Thank you for watching my video. This has been Deranged Gaming. Like I said, any of you who have, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I just want to thank you for watching. Have a great day. This has been Deranged Gaming signing out. I will catch you guys next time.